them are more than pals.
Our show can be a little gay,
But if you're not,
that's okay.
you can listen and have fun either way. Xena, Star Wars, Doctor Who, guests and music and reviews. Game of Thrones, Winona too. So promise there's something for you. She nerds out. We're girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
Hello and welcome to the She Nerds Out podcast. I'm Anne.
I'm Wendy.
And this is Tara.
Today we have a full episode including a mail sack and some nerd and weather news. But first, let's address why I am here. Kat has asked me to step in for her for a little bit because unfortunately her mother unexpectedly passed away last week, Tuesday. I had just gotten back from England when her wife, Leah, whom she's married to, called me to let me know the sad news. So obviously we're all mourning alongside her and support whatever she needs at this time.
Yeah. We love you, Kat. We miss you and hope everything is, just that you're just supported and loved and that we love you.
Definitely. It's we miss you. We want you to take all the time that you need because it's a hard thing to go through. So we're here for whatever you need, and everybody's wishing you and Leah the best, and going through this. So that's
Leah, her wife, to whom she is married.
That's right. I believe we've established that very clear. Should we have a toast to Evelyn?
Yes, let's
have a toast.
Toast to Kat's mom, Evelyn. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Raise a glass.
Clink, clink, clink.
Clinking sounds.
I'm drinking a little grapefruit radler.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Wendy, what are you drinking?
Vodka tonic.
Yeah. I am in the fall festive mood. This is Elysian Night Owl.
Fall,
it is
y'all.
a 6.5% ABV, 6.7% ABV.
Dang.
Pumpkin ale. So it's delicious.
Ooh, I had some
one of the
pumpkin
strongest
ale.
you'll find.
This podcast should go well. What do we get?
Isn't that like
And
your
I'm-
second
I'm
bottle?
on my fifth one. Yeah.
Oh, goals.
I mean, I stare at you like, are you? Because
Yeah.
You
You never
that's
know.
not out of the realm of
Yeah.
possibility.
Depends on how long the podcast goes.
Oh boy.
But yeah. But
Like,
this one in particular is for you, Kat, and your family, and we love you. So
the toast, yes.
The first 5 were for herself.
yeah, just for me.
But Kat insisted that the show go on. So
I wonder how many people, when they heard your voice, just thought Anne finally just took over, like world
Okay.
domination.
listen, she was like, you have to promise me one thing. And I was like, are you gonna make me like drink another snake bite? Because there's a story with that. And she's like, no, you just can't be funnier than I am. And I was like, no promises.
Yeah. If you say anything really funny, we'll just have to edit it out.
Yeah.
You can leave in our laughing and it'll just seem really awkward and maniacal at that point, but you can just leave it in there.
The laughter just cuts off.
Yeah.
It was like, ha.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let's keep the show going. And how about some celebrity birthdays?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh,
Happy birthday to who?
Wait, don't sing the real one.
Oh.
I know.
Can we now? Maybe not. Anyway, August 24th. Tara, I think you're very fond of this one. Rupert Grint, otherwise known as Ron Weasley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm
How
so
old is
bad at
he? Let's
actors'
see.
names.
Baby.
I'm going to say he is 34.
Oh,
What's
this
your
is the
guess?
part where we have to get. I'm so bad at estimating things.
It's the game now.
This is Ron Weasley.
Mm-hmm.
They were all baby. I'm gonna say 45.
Oh my God.
I'm so bad at this.
shit.
I'm so bad at this.
He
game.
is. I'm bad at thinking of the years. I think he is 30. He was born in 1988. What does that make him?
He's
30.
Okay,
Five?
35. Wow.
35.
He's older than Emma. Okay.
I'm so bad at
Wow.
this game.
Close, Anne.
My
That's a close one.
estimation game is
Good.
bad.
Good try, though. Good
Wow.
try.
I'm very bad at estimating. I can't do
Mm.
measurements. I can't, like, if you said how tall was the perpetrator, I'd be like 9 feet. He was really tall, 9 feet tall.
I always feel like that too with ages. Like, I don't know. He could have been 45. He could have been 18. I don't know.
Right.
I
Because,
just-
like, maybe they age really well. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, August 25th. Tara, I guess I'm picking your people because I think you like this person and her husband, Blake Lively.
Oh, yes.
You do
Blake
like
is married to Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
I think Blake is 36.
I feel like everybody's in their 40s. She looks so good. But, like, he's been around a while. She's
Mhm.
been around a while. What did you guess?
36.
I'm going to say 39.
Mhm.
Tara's right. Tara
Yes!
knows her.
You're good
her
at this.
people. Tara,
I do. I
Tara
love my
does
Blake
have some
and
good.
Ryan.
Trying to
They're like
figure
couple
out.
goals. They have a really fun
I
banter
know.
going. If
They're so
you need to
cute.
pick me up, look at their Instagram messages to each other. It's very
Did you see them on what was mostly Ryan Reynolds on that David Letterman series he's doing right now? I
no.
think it
Oh
was,
no, I haven't seen that one.
was it David Letterman? I don't know. It was some white guy talk show thing. But she like popped in. It was very cute.
Oh,
They are
nice.
fun. They are fun. Trying to figure out who to do for the last one because we do 3. It's a trifecta.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Leanne Rimes,
Oh,
former
Isn't
winner of
she-
The Masked Singer and other things.
Isn't she like
I
the
think-
same age as the last person?
I don't know.
I think she's 42.
Isn't Kat bad at this game too?
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah, she's
like
getting
if I'm
better, I
bad,
feel
I'm
like.
just filling her shoes.
Yeah.
You're saying 42. You're almost always right. So I'm gonna say 44.
You should have gone the other way. 41.
Oh,
Volleyball, born in 1982. Sometimes I have to do the math because I know, and I think some of these the ones are around Tara's year. I'm like, okay, how old is Tara? How many years is that from Tara? Because I know how old Tara is. And then, or
It's
my
like
year,
BT before Tara or
or
H.
after Tara. I just, I have to do math in my head, and that's hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Okay. Well, good job. Good try. It was a good effort.
Nice try.
I don't
Nice
feel
try.
like that's my sport.
Well,
Guessing
we're gonna-
birthdays.
Yeah.
It should be in the Olympics, but okay.
but maybe you're still recovering today, Anne, because of what we went through this weekend. And now we're going to go into a new segment, and I'm not sure when it's going to come up again, but we're going to do some SNOP weather.
I feel like that's the
Yeah.
appropriate
Snap weather.
sound.
Yep. So this weekend, we experienced what has now been deemed a hurricane. That is the combination of a hurricane, Hurricane Hillary, which is the first hurricane to hit LA this century, I believe.
It's been
Lake
84
landfall.
years. Literally
84
84
years.
years.
Oh, nice.
It's
Nice
exactly
use of
84
that
years.
meme.
I know.
Um,
It's finally really appropriate.
So it's been, on the news. Everyone's preparing for this thing. It made landfall, I think, a little sooner than they thought. So it wasn't as bad here, but it was still pretty bad. So we had a hurricane. And then right during, I want to say, the peak hurricane time, I was sitting here with my mother who's visiting, and I
She
started
got
to feel
experience
some shaking.
something.
And I was like, what's happening here? And then I looked over at Charlie, who was on the other side of the couch, and she was looking at me with big eyes, and she was shaking too. And I was like, I think Charlie's swaying here. You know what we look like, Anne? We look like on Xena when they're riding the centaurs, that
Yeah,
special
the
effect where they're just doing this.
Where just the
Yeah.
front, the shoulders
You're-
move.
Only the shoulders are kind of bobbing around, and that's what it looked like. And I was like, I said out loud, I was like, are we having an earthquake? And my new roommate yelled from the bathroom. He wasn't like, going to the bathroom with the door open or something. He was putting up a shower. We're not that close yet.
He's like my
but-
biggest fear, being like on the toilet when there's an earthquake.
The door just burst open and he's on the toilet.
The roof flies off because it's a hurricane combo earthquake
And you're naked.
and
And he's
naked on
like,
the pot.
yeah. And he's like, yeah, I think that was. And then literally the next second we got that warning for
Yeah,
earthquake. It's
after
like
the
take
hurricane.
cover.
Oh,
I mean,
see,
after
I
the
got-
earthquake, you get the warning.
I got mine before the earthquake.
Really?
It's the first time I've ever got the because I'm signed up for something
Oh.
and I'm reading it. I was like sitting in the chair and I was like, oh, earthquake. And usually I get them like after. So I was like, as I'm reading it, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, like now. Like I had
Mhm.
just finished reading it and everything's shaking. And I'm like, it was a big one.
It was a big one. And I live probably like 20, 30 miles more east than you. And it was closer to you, Anne, right? It was in Ojai.
Yeah.
It was like a 5.5, I think.
Yeah, I think out of all of us, I'm the closest one.
Yeah. And I felt like it was a good rumble. And that's the
And I know it
one I've-
doesn't
yeah.
last very long, but it felt like it lasted a long time.
Yeah. My mind had time to process kind of what was happening. And
Yeah.
you're looking around and you're like, wait, is that
What do I
moving?
do
Is that
again?
moving?
Like
Yeah.
what are I always like
Yeah.
we just stand here and
Right.
make sure
We
nothing falls
stand-
on us. Like that's
Yeah.
what we do, right? And
Right. And you're like, is this going to get worse or is it just going to end? You kind of like,
yeah,
wait, how bad
That's
is
the
it?
scariest part, not knowing. Like it's
Yeah.
fun if you know that's it.
right.
But the thought that okay, it could get substantially worse and this building could collapse around me, that's the scary part, not knowing how bad it's going to get.
Right,
Or
because like
is this a
feels
foreshock to a bigger one?
right, because
yeah.
like it felt big. So it's like, but is this as
That's what she said.
big as it's gonna get?
Mhm.
That's also what she
Yeah.
said. But did you know that so that one was, I don't know, like 10 something in the morning?
No,
Is
no,
that
no, no.
right?
It was
Oh, I
later?
can assure
later.
you, it was approximately around 2:45ish
That's right.
because I had been at work. I came back early. I was supposed to come back on Sunday from Dallas, and Southwest said you might want to reconsider that. So I came back on Saturday and promptly got called into work on Sunday for
Oh gosh.
hurricane coverage. And it was hectic and crazy. News people like to lose their minds, and they're like, they can't just say, hey, let's calmly put on this breaking news. It's like, we gotta be all freaked out and yelling, and there's gotta be 5 producers down there.
So you were at work for the earthquake.
Well, I was at work up until I was till about like 2:30, 2:35, and other people had taken over. So I'm like, whew, I'm out of here. And I get home, I had just parked in the garage, and I get the notice on my phone, and I just froze. I'm like, when's it coming? I don't want to get on the elevator. I don't know what to do. And then I was like, I kind of knelt down by my car expecting it to happen. And then I'm like, maybe I should get back in my car. And then I got up. I was like, okay, well, maybe it didn't hit here. I didn't feel it. And I came upstairs. My roommate was like, did you feel that? Did you feel? I'm in the door frame. So I'm like, okay, so I guess you could feel it. But I guess since I was in the car, I was either driving or in the garage, it buffered it. And my only thought was, oh my God, I'm glad I left work because it was already crazy. And then you tacked an earthquake onto it. And I was glad that I wasn't involved in the coverage.
So between that first one, which my thing said 5.1, but my friend said that the final reading was 6.0.
Oh,
really? Because I had
Mhm.
5.5, but
That's what I heard.
It felt, and there are rarely ones above like 3s or 4s.
Right.
So that one felt
it
like
was substantial.
So between then and like just, I don't know, I checked like an hour ago, there have been 54 earthquakes in Ojai.
Whoa, that's scary.
Yeah. So a
Wow.
lot of it's like all
Jeez.
aftershocks and stuff,
Mm.
but like they're
Oh,
ranging.
since then?
Yeah, since then.
Oh my gosh.
And
Wow.
so, but 54. So like my feed is like
I thought you
literally
meant
just
ever.
Ojai. No, since like
Wow.
yesterday.
Okay.
And like even some of them are still reading like 4.0.
Oh my gosh. Have you
Wow.
felt
So-
anything since then?
I felt 2 since then,
Wow.
but nothing like that first one.
How close are you to Ojai?
I think I'm like 55 miles.
Oh wow, and it
You
still
gotta
feels like
be closer because like a straight shot just to Ojai without taking highways from my house was like 45 miles.
Let me check. Ojai.
Yes, it is spelled Ojai.
It's like
Ojai.
48 minutes from me.
Okay. Yeah. So just thinking how strong it felt, and we are.
You imagine
pretty
being
far.
actually there. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's scary.
Ugh.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
like to be living there, because like we're waiting, right? Like, okay, is there going to be more? But they're just bouncing around left and right since yesterday.
Wow.
So that
And
cannot
then
feel
they
great.
probably are dealing with mudslides and flooding too, but
Right.
on the same day. So yeah, we didn't really get to, I mean, it just rained a lot. And I live right by the LA River, and that was raging. It's incredible how it goes from completely dry to like a raging river that was like rising 4 inches an hour. So it wasn't too bad, but I loved it. I loved the rain. But there was a lot of flooding around.
I slept with my sliding glass door open. I'm on the second floor, so I wasn't too concerned. I just love the sound. And our coverage was they went 7 to 7 on Sunday. Nonstop, no breaks, all on air. And
my God.
I know it was a little passive because the really big part didn't come up till like later. Later afternoons when the rain got really heavy. And yeah, it was some substantial loud rain. I thought, oh, it's kind of loud. Should I shut my door? I said, no. When do I get to enjoy this? So I left it open.
I didn't get any thunder. I didn't get any lightning. I didn't really get any wind. But I hate the rain, like when it's that much rain.
Yeah.
And my backyard drainage stuff stopped. It couldn't keep up with the volume.
Yeah.
And it was like creeping slowly up to my back patio door. And we were just like diverting it. Like I had the kids out there like digging trenches to try to get the water to go a different way. We were
building
drenched.
a bridge.
I
Get your shovel.
I looked at my son. I'm like, I'm jokingly like, are you having fun? He's like, yeah. I'm like, for real? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, why? And he goes, I don't know, but I like this. So
I bet that would be kind of exciting.
Because it wasn't cold. So it's like,
no,
you were in like this rain, but like you weren't cold. So it kind of, it felt kind of good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were soaked.
Yeah.
Well,
so the hurricane was trending yesterday. I just love that term. I can't wait for someone to write that sci-fi movie when we.
Oh, it's coming.
But also in there was like
I love
some tornado warnings too.
Right. Tornado.
And then after the earthquake happened, they were like, it doesn't appear as though there'll be a tsunami. And I'm like, why don't we
that's
just
good.
throw it all
Lord.
in there? Like, hurricane, tsunami, tornadoes, earthquake. Great.
Yeah, I saw the tsunami trending, and I thought, oh my God, are we getting this too? And then I saw that it was no, we're not. Yeah, it was a lot going on. You know what sometimes can comfort a person during troubling weather times? Candy corn.
No,
Candy corn can make all your problems go away. And guess what's out already? Candy corn, like Halloween candy corn. You know what I saw at Ralph's today? The autumn mix. The perfect candy corn. And I didn't buy it. I probably should have, but I just, I already had a Reese's and I had some other candy. And I just thought, I don't need to just eat pure sugar. Because you know me, I'm such a health nut.
It's not too soon. In fact, Wendy and
I done it.
like a couple weeks ago, she was out this way and I said, hey, you want to go to Chili's? And next Chili's in Encino is a Michael's. We went in there. They had the full Halloween going. So of course I kept it under $100 for now.
That is good for her.
But I'm freaking ready.
You're always ready for Halloween.
August 1st, I'm like in Halloween mode.
Yeah, I saw it in the stores like earlier this week, and not this week, like this week just started late last week. But I did a double take because I was like, why are they just like putting old stock on the shelves and trying to get rid of it? And then I was like, wait a minute. No, it's almost like not almost Halloween, but
we're on the verge of September. That's when it's, I think, fair game. I
think so.
It's never too soon for candy corn. I can't remember, Anne. I know candy corn is a hotly debated topic on this podcast.
It is.
What is your official stance on
I think it
corn?
tastes like wax and it's not good.
Ugh, she's just like Kat, just like her.
This is why I had to replace Kat for this episode.
Someone had to keep the level here.
Exactly.
More for us.
Okay. Well, a great pairing with candy corn is a show that can make you feel very cozy if you'd like to just go ahead and start your fall off early.
Smooth. Wow.
Thank you.
Segues
I wish you could see our faces whenever we do a segue.
So proud.
Yes,
so
like,
proud.
wow.
Quality.
I'd clap,
We're doing
but
like
you wouldn't
snaps
hear
to
it,
ourselves.
but you won't hear it.
So if you want to cozy up and watch a chilly show, that's also fun. And it's Deadlock. So last week I was on the second to last episode, and I already said I loved it. So I have now finished the series, or series 1. I hope that they kind of set it up. There could be a little something,
How
a
many
second
episodes?
season. 8.
Okay.
They are a good hour each. It's one of those that, like, sometimes it's like an hour 5, sometimes it's 55. So, but it's entertaining. It flies by. The finale was cracking me up even more than some of the other episodes. It's just cozy. It's in Tasmania. These 2 female detectives working together to solve a series of murders. And it's just really funny. It is. I'm so glad that quite a few of our listeners recommended it, and I was finally like, can I get this Deadlock? And I found it's on Amazon Prime, and I was cracking up. It's a great mystery, and it has a really interesting tone where it is serious, but then it's just the characters in the show are just really well written, and it's a lot of fun. So you're kind of enthralled, but also you're gonna laugh throughout. And like I said, the lead detective, Dulcie, reminds me a lot of just maybe after Sheriff Nicole Hott has been on the force for like 10, 15 years. I feel like she could totally just be this character.
That's funny
So.
because I started to watch it based on Noelle Carbone, one of the writers from Wynonna Earp, her recommendation. She was like, if you're sleeping on this, wake up, like, you got to watch this. It's super gay. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm only like, I don't know, 4 minutes in because I got distracted.
Me too.
I'm like where there's
Oh
a
my
body
God.
on the beach. That's as far
Yeah.
as I've gotten.
I got a
really
little bit
the
farther
first
than that.
few minutes. Okay.
Yeah, that's as far as I got.
Okay.
Here's a question though, Tara, because you know the tone. Okay, the tone is kind of like, ooh, somber-y, kind of, oh, that's a nice moment. They're on the beach, and all of a sudden, you know what happens? Like, oh, trip on a body. Oh my God, his penis is
Right.
There's
burning.
like a
Right.
fight. Yeah.
And there's vomiting, and it's
Yes.
like, is that kind of indicative? Like, oh, it's kind of a serious show, but yet things happen.
Yes. It's a serious show, yet they're still real people and have funny, it's not slapstick at all. It's just a witty, I feel like it's almost like how a normal witty person would react under certain circumstances. And a lot of it is just situationally funny. But it's not overdone. There are just a lot of different dynamic characters in there. It is very gay, but I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. There are so many different characters. It's like,
it's really gay, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I feel
no,
like
I mean,
that's not a deterrent.
it is gay, but no, I'm saying, like, but there's so many other things and character relationships going on. It's you'll never be bored. So I was enthralled, and I'm really sad that it's over. The finale was great. I don't know. Again, it's been described as a funny Broadchurch. So if you're familiar with Broadchurch, that kind of tone, it definitely has that, like, muted colors, but it's still really pretty because you're in a beautiful countryside. But yeah, it's a lot of, and I now will just say, instead of like, oh shit, I'm going to say, ah, bum. That's what they say.
So you picked up the lingo.
I picked up the lingo.
Oh, and the accent.
Tasmania. So yeah, but highly recommend.
Here's a question.
Go watch it. Write it. Let us know what you think.
Here's a question.
Yep.
Anne was saying, it's like, oh, how many episodes? 8. Are we ever gonna? Do you think we'll ever get to the point where, like, 8? 8? Like, we're used to 4 now. Like, are they ever gonna, like, just keep trimming them back? Is 8 the good standard, 8 to 10, or is it ever gonna be like, I wish I only had 6. I don't have time for 8. Are we good with 8 for a while? Because remember, 22 was just comforting, and now it's like 22. Oh my God, why can't they just do 8?
See, 22 is a lot if it's a show you didn't watch that has a lot of seasons, and you're going, like, that's what stops me from starting a lot of things, because I missed the boat. So to go back, it's like too much of a commitment.
Daunting.
But when you start a show from the beginning, 12 is no big thing, because you started with the show and you just, like, you're hungry for more. You just keep going. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. From going back and watching Grey's Anatomy, as not a person that had watched it when it first aired, it was to me comforting to know I had, like, oh, I still have 150 episodes and I've already watched 150.
This is never going away. I have all the time in the world.
But when I felt a little anxiety when I watch these shows that are only 8, because I also know that it's going to be like a year and a half before they come back.
Right.
And I mean, they've cut some of the Star Wars down to 6 now. So it's, I don't know. And then I don't know, when I think about what we'll talk about later, when they were going to do a League of Their Own and cut it down to a half season at 4, like that just feels like you just call it a mini series at that point. Just call
it's
it,
like, is it even worth it at that point? Like,
Right.
I feel like you just start to get like your teeth wet. Is that a phrase? Get your teeth wet. Is that a phrase?
Getting your teeth wet.
I think it's a good for a starter
feel like it is.
intro. Teeth wet?
Get your teeth wet. Get your
is that not a
sink your
phrase?
is it sink your teeth
I
into
don't know
it?
what I'm trying to say. In my
Or
head,
get your
it's
feet,
like,
toes wet? I don't
Get your
know.
get
feet
your
wet.
toes
feet wet and sink your teeth into it.
Like,
Get your
your
teeth
teeth
wet.
should be wet.
They should. If they're not wet, you should see your dentist.
Get a lozenge or something.
Yeah.
No, I feel like 4 is a tease. Like, that's not.
No.
Well, I feel like 4 is good. 4 is okay. Like a short 4. If it's, hey, let's do this series and see if it catches on, like a good intro. And then with the promise that if people like it, they'll actually do more. Or if it's a show, like with League of Their Own, it was too short. We're going to get to this, but if that's what you get to wrap it up, then okay. You get what you get. As long as it gives a series closure, I'll take whatever. TV, movie, 4 episodes, whatever. But
As
anyway.
we will discuss that
we'll
promise of more
discuss
after
it.
4.
Put a pin in
I
it.
don't believe it. Yeah.
Put
Put a pin. All right. Well,
Sink your wet teeth in it for later.
yeah. Right now we're gonna wet our teeth on some SNOP sports.
Sports.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about some World Cup. Sadly, for all of our English friends, England did not win. They went to the World Cup final versus Spain. For all of our Spain listeners, congratulations. They did beat England 1-0. And I think England, what they did win was the uniform game. Their uniforms were beautiful blue with some nice texture. But just still a sad loss. It was a tough day. And I don't know. Did you guys stay up to watch it live?
Who were you rooting for? Like it shifts, like, because as your people drop out, then you're like, well, now
Right.
I'm rooting for this.
England. Almost the entire time I was.
Really?
After Australia,
US,
it was England.
Yeah.
You didn't. Okay, so you started with US.
Mhm.
Okay, and then you went England.
Yeah, but I'm always like secretly kind of rooting for England.
Yeah.
Either, like
Me
I would never
too.
be
Me too.
too disappointed if England was the one to beat the US.
See, I was US Matildas, then England.
I was Matilda's for this because they were home, and I was kind of rooting for them for like the underdog. They're at home, but normally, yeah, if it's not US in just about any sport, Olympics, men's soccer, women's soccer, it's England is next.
And I just love
I
Sam Kerr.
England.
So
for the last Women's World Cup, I went to a watching party at a bar, and the only jersey I had was an England jersey. And I just thought like, oh, I'm going to be like participate. I'm going to wear my like jersey that I have for like the World Cup. And then I show up at the bar and like everyone is decked out in America stuff. I did not read the room right. I did not plan that. And I'm like, oh shit. And they're like, and they're playing England during that game. And I was like, oh, I didn't think this through.
You should have just said,
I didn't have like a Mia Hamm jersey.
sorry, mate. I'm here from England. I'm just here
Oh.
visiting America, and
No.
I'd have to support my team, but
Mhm.
I root for you too, America.
pour me a pint.
Pour me
Yeah.
a pint.
Could I get a
I'm
pint,
from
please,
Wales. Making it all. Did you try to pretend you were English?
No,
Or did you
I
just say, I'm
didn't.
so sorry, I'm wearing the
just
wrong
said,
shirt?
my bad. Yeah. I said I'm cheering for the US, I guess. But you
Well.
know who we're not going to cheer for?
Oh, dear.
Ugh.
Spain won, but their, Royal Spanish Football Federation president Luis Rubiales did not win. He lost because he has admitted now that he made a mistake by giving one of the Spain players, Jennifer Hermoso, an unwanted kiss on the lips after the 33-year-old received her gold medal. That was very awkward. Talk about awkward moments.
Not cool.
He's come under some fire. He's apologizing. I don't know. Look, I don't know anything about Spain or their team or any of these people, but it could be like a secret affair that he just got the best of him. He's like, he had kissed this woman that he's secretly having an affair with. And now it's like, oh, I didn't mean to do it. But I'm just
He
saying.
says there's an event which I have to regret, which is everything that happened between the player and I, with a magnificent relationship between the two of us, the same as with the others. So does he kiss all of them on the lips?
He didn't kiss anybody else on the lips, I don't
Sometimes
think.
you just get so excited.
Do you see the
just
picture,
kiss your
Anne?
friends right on the lips.
That doesn't look like a friendly kid. Look, she's got her arms
Grabbed
on
her
him
face
too.
and was like, bam.
Yeah. And, and it technically, like, she is an employee of that federation or whatever you're going to call it. And I certainly don't do that with my employees.
No.
And if one of my bosses, even if I was close to, came up and did that on freaking international live TV, I'd be like, get the F,
think
on a multitude of levels.
I think I also saw a video going around that he was like grabbing himself.
Oh no.
During the game, like during a excited moment, like his hand grabs himself.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure it's the same guy.
He was kissing other people on the cheeks, other teammates, but that's apparently the only one he kissed.
Maybe it was a
mouth.
miscalculation.
Look at that's no miscalculation.
In the face.
I know. Yeah. I'm
He's
trying
grabbing
to play
her
devil's
head,
advocate, but it was a full frontal attack.
Yeah, and
it was very
later
cringy.
said,
I was like,
yeah.
"Oh!"
Were you watching it live?
Yeah,
when it happened.
Not good.
Yeah, and Hermosa said later on an Instagram live, "Hey, I didn't like it." So she didn't. What she said, but what are you going to do, sis? But what am I supposed to do? That's not good.
But also that it's taken center stage too.
Mm-hmm.
Here you just won this big thing, and how embarrassing, you had this unwanted moment that you're it's being played over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I hadn't heard anything about it till I was just looking up World Cup stuff and I saw it, but I hadn't, it wasn't on our news. So, I mean, it's definitely out there. I hadn't heard of it till I looked for World Cup stories and I thought, oh, this is apparently a big thing.
Yeah.
So
just, a word to the wise, if you're out there and you're thinking about kissing an employee of some kind or coworker on the mouth during a excited moment, just don't do it.
No.
On
the side of restraint.
Yeah, just hold it in. Bury it deep down.
Hold it and stuff it way down.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Not good. Hey, should we take a trip to purgatory over the pond?
Yeah.
I think so. Over the pond, sir.
I can't do an accent.
She Nerds Out presents live from purgatory.
Over the pond.
So yeah, I just got back on Tuesday from a trip over the pond to Manchester, where I was moderating for ERP Fusion UK.
Oh.
So that was quite an experience. I'd never been over the pond before. I got to see some sights. Loved Manchester. But yeah, I got to see some of the cast again. Who was all there? Melanie, Kat, Dom, Greg, Danny, Tim, Charlotte.
Wow.
I believe that's everyone.
Nice lineup.
Yeah. So we kicked off Friday with what did we do? It's all a blur. But one thing that was new that I hadn't done before was they had a cast viewing thing where they played episode 411 with the cast there.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say 4-2.
No.
402.
Awkward. But so that was super cool because most of the cast is in 411. So everybody that was there besides Charlotte was in 411. So they played that, and then the cast did kind of like a director's cut where they like talked about the
That's
scenes
cool.
as it was playing.
Mhm.
So it was just really neat. Like some of them hadn't seen it. They hadn't watched it before. So it was just really kind of like emotional to like see them kind of get emotional and talk about the scenes. And then to not leave out Charlotte, they cut in Charlotte's scenes towards the end too. Charlotte thought
That's cute.
she was off the hook, but then all of a sudden Charlotte's stuff showed up. So that was
Nice.
pretty cool. And I got to moderate panels. One of my panels was with Charlotte, Danny, and Greg. Then I had a Way Hot panel. And then I had a Cat and Charlotte panel, which was an
Fun.
interesting duo, but actually was amazing.
What was the theme on that one? Like usually they have,
The theme was, well, their common denominator was that they were both witches, but also they were also both cops. So we
That's
did like
fun.
the
That's
Rookie
fun.
Blue witch thing. And then I had them interrogate someone, interrogate
Nice.
Jackie.
I saw the picture of Jackie. Wondered what was happening.
So we did a little improv. Jackie did not know their crime. And it was up to Charlotte and Kat without saying the crime to get Jackie to guess the crime.
I bet she
Wow.
got it right. Or did she not?
Eventually she got it,
Eventually.
but it was quite the antics.
That's
They
funny.
really gave Jackie a hard time, and Jackie also gave them a hard time. So it was a
Wow.
lot of fun. So I can't wait for those videos to come out. But it's really interesting to moderate. First of all, it's interesting / getting a little difficult to moderate panels for a show that hasn't had a new episode in almost 3 years. Like, what do you talk about? So then you go into like, well, let's talk about their other bodies of work. Also very
No.
hard when there's a writer's actor strike going on.
Right.
You know, Winona Earp is safe because it's Canadian, but some of the stuff for like Charlotte and Melanie, they're both. So
And they
like,
just can't talk about it, can they?
they can't
right
talk
now?
about it at
No.
all. So
Wow.
like it's hard because you know Melanie's in Star Trek and everyone wants to talk about it, but right up front we had to say like we can't talk about it.
It's too bad.
So yeah. And then there's definitely like stuff that Charlotte's done in the past where I was like, here's my chance to like, you know, talk about
Nope.
some like, I mean, she played Marilyn Monroe. Like I wanted to talk about how iconic that, but like she can't talk about it.
Instead, it's like, what did you have for dinner last night, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
good?
exactly. So it's like I double checked before like each panel, just like this is I'm assuming this is off the table, and like yep, this is off the table. But other things like we're still safe. Just you know doing my due diligence and going through like IMDb and stuff like that. But one thing, like I have not finished the Star Trek episodes with Melanie in it yet. I know you guys did.
Okay, I did.
But I saw the musical where we learn Captain Batal, right?
Batel.
Batel.
Yeah.
We learn her first name
Mm-hmm.
through the song. And I saw like somebody tweeted something like, oh, does this mean she's going to die now? Because like anytime you learn a captain's first name,
Oh, no.
they end up dying. Is that true? Like I'm not schooled enough in this show.
I don't know. I had not heard. I mean, because we know. I mean, I guess
like
we
she's in some
know
danger in
Crisp. Yeah, she's definitely in danger. But I mean, are we spoiling anything here? Are we gonna spoil it? I think I talked about it last. Okay. I mean, but we know Chris Pike. We know Captain Kirk, like James T. Kirk.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it's not like an immediate death. Like as soon as you learn a captain's name, like, bam, he's going to die very soon. I mean,
but there is kind of like a little bit of a trend. But
I don't know. I don't know that much. I mean, Kirk lived for quite a while after, when we knew his name.
Are you talking about like it's a Star Trek thing or a Strange New World
like
thing?
somebody put it on Twitter that like as soon as you like if they can't, they're like there's a thing like once you learn it's like it means they're not going to stick around long or something. And I was like, is that a thing
specifically about that? But just thinking back about other captains, I mean, there's been some that they haven't died yet.
Okay,
so
good. I'm not going to worry
it
too
could
much
be
about
like
it then.
That I just don't know how soon they would expect her to die. I mean, So I don't know.
Okay. So I won't worry too much about it. But she looks
Well-
good in danger. Like I saw some of the clips, like,
Yeah,
and she
she's
looks
really hot
good.
when she's in
Yeah.
danger. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. Does
Yeah.
very well. I mean, I really hope she's back because I think she does. I really like her pairing with Pike, with Chris
Mhm.
Pike, and I really just I love having her on there. It's always a fun surprise. It's like I know she's on there, but whenever she's in this season, she's only on one or two very small parts in the first season of 2
Mhm.
episodes, right? And then this season, she was pretty prevalent. And I just thought it was a nice addition. So I hope that she is again prevalent next season. So we'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But I have to look up that captain thing. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I watched the original series. I don't know when James T. Kirk, like his first name was revealed versus I
like
don't even
when
know
he
when
died.
I
when
think
he
it was
died,
around
yeah.
a long time before
a
that.
long
though,
time.
wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe it's
So-
just female captains. I don't know. I don't
Maybe.
know
Mm.
the
Well, that
shtick.
would be horrible.
Right.
Yeah, that's really terrible.
But
Well,
I was like, is
Captain
that a
bury
thing?
your
I don't
captains.
know.
I mean,
Bury
did
your
Captain
female
Janeway
captains.
die? Because, you know, she didn't die, did she?
Yeah.
Did we know her first name?
And what about
Catherine Janeway?
Picard?
I wonder if
His
it's like
first
lesser
name.
characters.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
like-
know enough Star Trek to know.
I don't know. I'm basing it
Huh.
on, the news, which was Twitter. So
On Twitter? Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So who
have to
knows?
follow up on that.
Twitter's never wrong.
if anyone knows,
Speaking of Twitter
Oh, no.
or X,
Hmm.
there was another segment that we usually do, and we have another entry for it. It's called something like maybe Kevin Sorbo is an idiot. Why don't we have a theme song for that one yet? But I'm just going to imagine his voice vocally saying something stupid. Anyway, he was on Twitter again, or X, whatever we're calling it. I'm still calling it Twitter.
it's Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitex, Twitter.
Yeah. So he this week said that Hollywood stopped giving him roles and work because he was Christian, he got canceled because of his Christian beliefs.
Not because he's a
Thoughts?
bad actor
Not
or
because-
a jerk.
Right. He's constantly
Right.
just stirring up some shit and just has yeah. And here's a reply. He's a conservative, not a Christian. So essentially, yeah, he's not really acting very Christianly, really. If you're gonna really take in the values that are theoretically supposed to be there as Christian, no, not judging, being kind. He's not really exhibiting those, traits very
Right.
well. But I think just for him to come out and say that that's why he got canceled. Not
I
really.
think he just
there are a lot of
is
layers to that.
overlooking some other things that it could possibly be.
His self-awareness maybe needs to be adjusted a little bit.
Lacking a
right?
little bit. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I first saw this on Twitter because there was a post about, a lot of other actors who I don't know one way or the other, but I guess have put themselves out there as being Christian who are doing just fine. Even, my favorite show, Person of Interest, but Jim Caviezel, he's been very upfront. He's even a Trump guy, and he's very conservative, and he's kind of weird, not in a related thing, but he's kind of just weird in general, but the guy's been working. So, I mean,
Right.
I think it's, even there's plenty of people that are Christian or just even highly conservative that still work.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Kevin, I think there's
Hey,
probably
Kevin,
other reasons
There's
that you're
probably
not
more
working.
to it.
If even the Great
bit.
American Channel or whatever it is now, the one that Candace
Right.
Cameron,
If you can't get work there,
if you can't,
then-
if
The
they don't
GAC?
even want to hire you, bro, the
GAC.
GAC. If GAC doesn't want you, you got to look inward, my
If
friend.
GAC
and
doesn't want you, it's whack.
yeah. So I think when I think about Candace Cameron Bure, she's like a prime example of being conservative, being outspoken conservative and Christian. That's gotten plenty of work and she's kind of in that same position where when she was younger, a long time ago in the 90s, she was big and she kind of had a resurgence through Hallmark and now GAC. But So I don't think you can totally blame that on the Christian. There's plenty of them out there. There's a whole network now. And if you can't be on that, then good luck to you. I don't
You
know.
need to reevaluate your life's choices.
Yeah,
Right.
I think he's
Right.
probably burned some bridges. I think he you know, and I just there's having your opinions, there's having beliefs. I mean, I'm a Christian, and I and I get annoyed too when a lot of people come out and it's almost like they're using that to, I don't know, like criticize, as in a jerk, like Kevin does. Like they're snarky.
Mhm.
They make their snarky comments. They've got like worse attitudes than, I mean, that's a whole other discussion, but it's like Kevin Sorbo is someone who's presented himself as someone I would not want to even get to know. He's
Yeah.
just the way he's talked about other people, about issues. He's cocky.
He's an asshole
he's
first,
basically
a
an
Christian
asshole.
second. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And
It's like you're not leading with the Christian part,
No,
you're leading with the
not at
asshole
all.
part. So I think
There you
that's
go.
what's speaking the loudest.
And this is not the first time he's criticized essentially, quote, Hollywood or whatever he's going to call it, the business. And it's like, if you're going to continue to do that, do you really think who's going to pick you up?
Right.
And you have made yourself known as a person who likes to run their mouth and likes to stir up this kind of crap. That's just ridiculous. And
It's not good for
you're
job
trending
security.
for all the wrong ways. And no one, there's tons of other people that they can turn to first before they're going to want all that. So.
But what is funny on Twitter though, because sometimes I feel like Chris Pratt, like, it's Twitter. They have their highs and lows. And it's like, oh my God, now we're canceling Chris Pratt for this or something. And it's like up and down. But now that Kevin Sorbo says like, well, what about Chris Pratt? He's a Christian. He's great. It's like now it's all like, well, he's not as bad as this guy. So we're going to support him because Kevin's even worse. He's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, well, look at Chris Pratt. He works all the time. He's fine. Even though the
Yeah.
other day we were like, we don't think we like this part of
Right.
him. So we're going to.
It's not like,
Why does he keep getting all these parts? I don't know. But like,
yeah,
it just depends. But Kevin is just basically a jerk. And he's been a jerk to like Robin Lucy, hadn't he? He was badmouth Xena. He,
yeah,
criticized that.
Right.
He's like, oh, well, I think he said things to the effect of like, well, Lucy was sleeping with a producer. That's why Xena was so much better.
yeah.
It's just
I
not
was
a great
thinking
guy.
again
Petty.
of Candace Cameron. Like her brother is just really off the rails, very similar to Kevin Sorbo. And the fact that she can still make her own. Again, I don't agree. I don't like her. I don't watch her, but it just goes to show that just because you are a very outspoken Christian or conservative can't immediately cancel you.
No.
Right.
So even she has to overcome her, even more asshole-ish brother. So
And the thing is, she has her beliefs. She has her things that she will and won't do. And, say what you want about that. But like, as far as a career, she's made it one. Like,
she's
like
thriving.
here's what I
Yeah.
represent. Here's who I am. And I now, not only was I hugely successful on Hallmark, like she was like the face of Hallmark movies. She's like, no, now they're even too liberal for me. I'm going to go over and like to this whole new network. And so she's making it work for her. Whereas Kevin's like, nobody likes me because I'm a Christian. And
No. Yeah.
Well, he is
Little
a
baby.
big sack of poo-poo. And speaking of sack, we have a
Segue.
male sack. Don't
Oh
we?
my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Anne, you're fitting right in.
Yeah.
You're gold. Have you done podcasts before? Because you're really good at this.
I've
Yeah.
dabbled.
You
I've
should get your own
Done one?
podcast. I think you
Yeah.
would do well.
I like how Kat's like, can Anne, can you step in? Because God knows those two can't do it on their own. We'd be like,
they can't
we
be
could
trusted.
record it. We could
They'll
record it.
just talk about Kevin Sorbo for 9
No idea
hours.
how to actually get it anywhere else but our own recordings. We
Yeah.
can't edit it, and we don't know how to put it on the
It would be a lost
out
episode.
there. We would have had a great time, but no
Yeah.
one would have ever heard it.
It wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Like these two dodos can't do
I
it.
mean, it
Man,
still
but
might not. We don't know. It's still,
Yeah,
we're
we'll
still,
see.
we'll see how it all
If
works
you're
out.
hearing this, it worked out.
Mhm.
It worked.
All right. Well, I got one from Beck.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go on. Do you know how this goes, Anne? When Beck sends us an email?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for the reminder.
Okay, got it.
Mm.
All right, we'll see how we do. Beck, there in this first email from Beck, there is no subject. It's very mysterious. Okay.
Mm.
Ooh, what could it be?
Beck says, "Hey nerds."
Hey,
Hey,
Beck.
Beck.
Okay, pretty good. I don't want to be that guy, but I've got to pull you up on something. Last episode, you guys are being super disrespectful, and I cannot stand by it and let that
Ooh.
happen. It's Lil Sebastian, not Little Sebastian.
Were we saying
He deserves better. I thought we did say Lil. Maybe at some
Sebastian.
point we said
you were saying
Little.
little.
Oh,
I know
Little
when I sang
Sebastian.
it,
Maybe we
Lil
probably did.
Sebastian. No, okay. It
Never
is.
mind.
Yeah, it is
Wait,
Lil
what was
Sebastian.
that? Say it again.
Lil Sebastian. The mouse rat, Andy. Whoa, Lil Sebastian. Uh, so though he says, okay, so Beck says he deserves better, though he may have been Lil. His impact on this town and the parks department was anything but Lil. R.I.P.
Aw.
Lil Sebastian. Enjoy horsey heaven.
Lil
Oh,
Sebastian.
I had another interaction with a teacher who gives me gay panic. I'm glad to say it was more successful than the first one. For starters, I actually got words out. It was for a class presentation, so there were kids and other parents around, so I really tried hard to be cool. However, I was very aware of my bright red face, and right at the end, I stumbled all over my words. Classic Beck. I'm not worried though my luck has changed. As everyone knows, I'm a super lonely person, but love has come a knockin' in the form of a man named Steven.
Oh.
Spoiler. He thinks I'm pretty and wants to be my sugar daddy, and I will be his sugar baby. He has promised to spoil me and support me financially. How did I possibly get this lucky? Love you guys, Beck. P.S. whispers quietly, the Matildas. Oh, sorry, Beck.
that didn't work out, did it?
And then says, I don't want to get too cocky. I learned from all your mistakes. No. So here we go.
Mm.
Beck includes a screen grab. It looks like, Instagram
oh,
from this.
that's
Steven.
reliable.
From the Steven. Here we go.
Okay,
Steven
Tara,
says,
no.
Yeah.
No, I want to hear Anne read this.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, Anne.
Wait, I gotta find it.
This is Beck's message she received
in a
from
sexy
Steven.
voice.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
sexy voice.
Hang on, I'll get it. Bex,
I know what brings in the people.
Steven.
Ooh.
Okay. Hello, pretty. Do I say the smiley face emoji?
Sure.
Mm.
Do you need a sugar daddy to spoil and support you financially? I'm interested in your profile, and I would like if you can be my sugar baby.
Mm.
I'll take very good care of you and spoil you with weekly allowances.
Whoa.
Mm.
Kindly reply with yes if you are interested. XX heart ?
Mm.
This is like a check yet. Do you like me? Check
Yeah.
yes or no, and then fold it and
Wow.
send it back
Well,
to
but
me.
it's kind of it does have that block, delete, or accept. Those are your options as far as yes or no. You can block,
do not
delete, or accept.
hesitate.
Yeah, it
accept
is.
back.
Accept.
Okay, let's
You said
find
you're
out
lonely,
how
and
much
are
is
you
the
gonna get a better
allowance?
offer?
Well, how much is this? Is it $1? Is it $10? $100?
Does
Yeah.
it
We need to have
matter? Right now,
standards.
Beck's not getting any allowance from a sugar daddy.
Can you negotiate with Steven? Is he?
Yes, I bet so.
What is
I
his
wish
weekly
I wish
allowance?
we had seen Steven's picture there up at the top.
Well,
It
I
looks
see
Yeah,
a
wait.
little bit of some
Yeah,
guns
it's
and some
tiny.
tats and
tank
a
top and a
white.
I mean, he looks pretty like ripped, maybe,
top.
you know?
I don't know if that's ripped, but maybe
I feel Beck.
muscle
I
with an
feel
extra layer.
like Steven really knows you.
Yeah, like
Just the way Steven is like, hello, pretty.
Mm.
have you looked at his profile? Is he from Tasmania? Is he
should I
in
look him up on
the
Insta?
area?
I don't want to say it out
You know,
loud.
I'm
We can look
I'd
it
like
up.
to
can't
know
we?
more about him before we make this final decision.
I'm looking him up.
Let's
I like how he's. Well, I guess we won't say
Is
it on
something bad
out
gonna-
loud, but maybe.
Virus.
I know. I'm a little scared. Let's see.
Okay, we're looking this guy up.
Yeah.
Forgot technology. We can do this.
I feel. Steven.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's
Oh, it's private.
Oh, he
He is?
Oh, uh-huh.
But there's
He's-
the picture. He's got
Well, then-
muscly tattoos. He's
He's
on a
only had
beach. I don't know if
6
that's where he
posts.
lives.
He has 601 followers. He's following
What?
1,144 people. He loves dogs, Beck.
He's a dog lover.
He loves to spoil and support.
He's
He's got a little hang loose. So whenever he's in Hawaii,
He's clearly like a private person, so I
Mhm.
think this is a good match.
He looks
I
like
don't know.
the
Shoot your
guy
shot back.
a little bit from what's that show with all the siblings and the dead dad and Mandy Moore?
Oh, This Is Us.
This is us.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like the guy,
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
right? Me either.
Yeah.
It's good
Huh.
podcasting. But the guy that the daughter is with.
Oh.
Either way, I think this
Good
is
job.
I
I
agree.
don't know.
Yeah, I see it now.
a
Okay.
oh, he has another account.
Chris Sullivan, who played Toby. Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, Toby. That
Mm.
rings a bell.
He has another account.
No, it was my search button. I think this is not sketchy at all.
No.
I think that this is the way of the future. This is how you find your mate. Yeah, I totally
mean-
approve of this. What? How does this work? Does this work for people? What does this do? What
Well,
is
let's
this-
find out, Beck. Accept.
See what happens back.
And then all of a sudden, like,
but
your
okay.
bank has been compromised, and like, please,
There is that.
Please email us or WhatsApp us before you go on any dates with this person, so we know your location.
yeah, drop us a
Um,
pin. Also, invite us to the wedding.
Yeah.
I feel like
Can-
this is a
can-
match made in
Does
heaven.
does he also spoil your friends or give them weekly allowances? I would like to know that.
Do you need a sugar
Um,
daddy? Who doesn't need a sugar daddy?
Duh.
I mean,
yeah.
And everybody needs a sugar daddy.
Wow, weekly allowances. I mean, you could really save up some pretty good cash that way.
mhm.
Think
You could
about
probably
that.
quit your job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
this
So
sounds promising.
our decision has been made, so just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, report back.
What
We
could
hope
go
to hear back
wrong?
from you. At least write the guy back. I mean, at least find
Okay, I
out a
feel like
little
we're going to
more.
need to put a disclaimer in case Beck really does, and then something bad happens. I'll say, well, the podcast told me to.
Oh,
Nobody
Lord. Okay,
listens
yes.
to us.
That's true. Do what you want.
Yeah. You do you.
You do
We're
you,
just
boo-boo.
saying it has
Yeah.
potential. So I have another email from Beck. Says the subject this time
I hope it's
is
not. I went on a date.
I went on
Deb-
a date with sugar daddy.
devastated.
Oh,
it
they
didn't work
broke
out.
up.
Mm.
No, I don't
No.
think it's about Steven.
Oh,
Beck says, well, fuck. I am so
Oh.
utterly gutted. Watching Haley Rasso in tears after that game absolutely broke my heart. I have never been so truly devastated and so incredibly proud at the same time. This is the furthest any Australian team has made it in a World Cup, men's or women's. This country has gone batshit crazy over this Matildas team. They managed to inspire an entire nation. This team has definitely changed the future of the sport and this country and women's sport on a whole. I really hope the hype around all this carries over to the AFLW. I think that's the Australian Football Women's League, right? That is about to start. People do want to watch women's sport. I'm just going to go cry some more. Love you
Mhm.
guys, except you, Tara. Wow.
ooh,
Back. Damn.
Oh,
them
Yes,
fighting
not-
words.
Yes, not to sound like a sore loser, but England, you can fuck off with that time wasting bullshit. It makes it so incredibly frustrating to watch. Sent from my iPhone.
I'm sure
I
it
don't think I
does,
needed
actually.
to
I
read
don't
that
like
part.
that either. They need a shot clock like basketball.
So
Or
if
football.
you are very sad, do you know who is good at supporting and
I
comforting?
was gonna go this route too.
Yeah.
Steven,
Steven. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mhm.
he could
Here's
lift
your
your
sign.
spirits and you. He has big muscles.
and your bank account. And you can just lift you right off the ground.
Yes.
So go cry into his arms.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry
he's
about
ready.
your Matildas.
I am sorry. Yeah.
I was
Lol.
rooting for him too.
I was rooting for the Matildas too.
Mm. All right.
Because
well, at least
Sam Kerr
you
can
know.
Sorry,
be my
Mike.
sugar daddy anytime.
Mm.
Sugar daddy. All right. Well, I got some email from Mish.
Ooh.
All
Says,
right.
the subject is I've got my windows open and the AC off in August. Not relevant. I just wanted to brag.
Wow. Blow.
I had my
Okay.
windows open yesterday in August because, tropical storms and such. Mish says, hello again. I got to give thanks to AK for the writ of appeal for knighthood on my and Cynthia's behalf. And thanks to our SNOP overlords for making it a unanimous vote. I hadn't thought about it before, but it does seem appropriate that we earned our titles in the heat of a gathering battle. I guess my weapon would be a blank Word document, perhaps. As befitting my uncertainty about my status, it could be used to either incapacitate my enemies with a hastily composed yet devastating drabble, or myself with its taunting blinking cursor, plus, paper cuts, or at least the suggestion of them, plus pens versus swords and all that. Now I see why I thought this was AK's email at first. There's a lot of words. It's like
Yeah.
a fun word puzzle. Okay. Also, I can't recall if you folks have weapons in this scenario or not, but judging by last week's episode, clearly Kat's weapon should be a silent gavel warhammer. Let me tell
Gavel
you,
is crossed out. And then yeah.
Oh, because it's silent.
Yeah.
The gavel is
'Cause it's
silent.
silent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I finally watched Deadlock as
Yes.
recommended by basically everyone I know, including my heterosexual mother, who
Oh,
sent me
wow.
a text which read, and I quote, "It has lesbians, but that's got nothing to do with the recommendation. It's just really good." And she was right.
Yeah.
Oh, like Wendy. I'm pretty sure it was Wendy. I've improved to about 66% on my Wendy versus Tara voice recognition. Go
Mm.
me.
Well done.
I also got very annoyed by Eddie in the beginning, but once she and Dulcie had their obligatory buddy cop moments of understanding each other in episode 3, the show became so much less stressful.
I got to pause here. I think did I send you a
It
text, Wendy, that said I really want to punch the main character or the Eddie in
maybe.
the show. I think.
By the way,
I think
that
I did
was
at one point.
actually Tara that said that, not me, because I haven't
Yeah.
used it. So that was
This-
in the 34% that you got wrong.
That was Wendy.
Confusion.
This is Tara. This is Tara right now. I agree. I also wanted to just. I was very annoyed with Eddie, and I was like, I just want to just like give her a little slap and be like,
Oh.
pull yourself together.
Oh.
So it was a lot. She was a lot, but it did improve. I grew to enjoy her very much. So just give it a chance. Give Eddie a chance. She's going through some things. Continue.
But anyway, but once she and Dulcie had their obligatory buddy cop moment of understanding each other in episode 3, the show became so much less stressful. I binged 6 episodes in a row after I got back from my second tattoo appointment this week. So there's a rec for the rest of you fence sitters. Said tattoo was too deceptively red after the second appointment to send any pictures of. I've attached some pictures after the first session as requested. You can get the gist. The atomic models were already there. The new stuff is all the line work. It's subatomic particle tracks from an
Ooh.
old style bubble chamber detector of a particle
Whoa.
accelerator, because I'm just that much of a nerd. I don't even
Whoa,
understand the
that's
dang
nerdy.
sentence, much less.
That is a deep cut of nerd right there.
So
Yeah.
the particle part, the black, I guess, shapes were there, and then the red lines were the addition.
That's cool.
That's very cool. It's a
Looking at
good
the
looking
picture.
cat. Yeah,
Wow.
that's a lot
very
of
nerdy.
intricate line
like
work right
that.
there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of swirls.
Swirls and it's smart swirls. It's like nerd smart
Yeah.
swirls. I would
Yeah.
just be like,
It's like a
"That's pretty.
secret
Are those
code,
flowers?"
That's
But
cool.
no, it's like
Yeah.
science instead. Atomic
Ooh,
models.
yeah, that one circle thing. That's cool.
It's very cool. Okay. Also, lastly, I have a show that's probably not as much of a recommendation, but as it is a show of note. It's The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart on Amazon Prime, which is a mini series that's releasing episodes weekly and is up to episode 5 of 7. Every single episode comes with a warning about themes of domestic abuse and basically every other fucked up family dynamic one can think of. But it's got Sigourney Weaver in it, and her character has, drumroll please, a wife. Of course, I realize now you probably couldn't hear that drum roll.
Couldn't hear the
'cause
drum roll.
No,
as we
you can
learned
hear
last week, you can't hear the drum roll.
I thought it was more of a dramatic pause. but I like-
No, it was a drum roll that no one can hear.
Okay.
They run a flower farm that doubles as a refuge for traumatized women.
Ooh.
There's also Frankie Adams of The Expanse fame, which is why I put the show on my list before I even knew about queer Sigourney Weaver situation. And Alicia Debnam Carey as the titular Alice Hart, but not until episode 4 due to a time jump situation. It's definitely not for everyone, and it's definitely not a fun watch, but it's compelling for sure if you can deal with the aforementioned fucked up family dynamics. On that happy note, toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
I like the idea of Sigourney. I would come
Yeah.
curious about her parts.
I haven't heard of
Has
that one.
Sigourney- know what I'm
had a
saying.
lady lover in anything else before?
I don't know. Let me I'm gonna Google.
Cannot recall.
that.
I mean, if not, what's the problem? Why hasn't
Yeah.
she? That just seems obvious.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver lesbian role. Is that
Was that
I
your
mean,
Google search?
okay, there's something something called Jane, and she decided her character would be a lesbian. I don't know
Oh.
what that is.
She just gets to
What
decide
show?
these things.
I guess. If you're Sigourney Weaver, yes.
I suppose.
Yes. Oh, okay. Now I'm calling up random videos. Okay, we'll get back to that later. But anyway. So I guess
Put
apparently
your YouTube on hold. Yeah.
apparently she's already they're calling her a lesbian icon because of Alien,
Oh.
which and Aliens, because she's awesome and she had a cat. Now she's actually
Definitely
playing one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she protected the cat. She's like, okay, the people died, but as long as the cat lives. Spoiler alert, the cat lives. Alien.
Is there
Well-
one where it's like, I know there's that website, does the dog die? But is there one that's like, does the cat die, or does
I
the
don't think
dog
people
die
care as much,
cover all
sadly.
animals?
I don't know. I recently asked a similar question about bugs. I wanted to know if there's a website like, are there bugs?
Oh,
Or of a certain kind, especially because I want to know. So yeah, would make sense. I wonder if there's like a hub.
because
like,
you
does
don't
this
want
happen?
bugs in a movie?
I don't want bugs. No,
Okay.
I do not want bugs.
Because the way you said it made it sound like, are there bugs? Like,
like,
ooh, I hope
yes.
there are
Or-
bugs. Sign me
Apparently-
up.
There is a cat. Oh my gosh. Oh God. And I clicked on it. It goes
Look
to a
away,
link with
Wendy, look
all
away.
the things in films that cats die.
No, this is where I broke Wendy. Oh,
Oh
no.
no.
Look,
She's never
gosh.
coming back.
Abort.
I
abort.
won't watch.
Click out.
Okay, now I'm scrolling through without. Oh, Game
Did it
of
put a virus
Thrones.
on your computer?
I haven't seen most of these things. No, it's a legit site. It's ugh. I gotta get off that. Anyway,
God.
next.
All right.
Thank you
Well,
for bringing that up.
I have the pleasure of reading an AK email
Ooh.
as the
Ooh.
newbie. And this subject is England. I think that's supposed to be like for England.
That sounded right.
England. I think
England.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Was my accent good?
Yeah.
Come on, you lionesses, etc. Oh, hey guys, you finally support the lionesses now. Catane?
No,
Catan?
Nope.
Catane?
Catton.
Catton. What does
It's
that
like
mean?
Captain. Like captain.
Oh,
Cat.
Catton.
Catane.
Catane.
Hey, Catton.
This is no fair. You threw me an AK. Oh damn! By the time you record, it'll probably be all over, right? Hope we won it. I'm so
Oh.
proud of causing Wendy to do a Yoda voice. So proud I am. And
Mm.
I'm very impressed by the incredible pretending to use a gavel you were all doing it.
No.
It
You were
was
really using a gavel.
It's weird how it
Creepy.
blocks it out. It was hard to work out whether two of you were gaslighting. This is
That's Tara's
wow.
name.
Have you listened to our podcast
I'm
at
a little
all?
behind. It's not a requirement to co-host.
I see.
Or were you all gaslighting us? Hilarious. No, it's weird how like if we clap, you don't even hear it.
No.
It's
No.
so
We
weird.
were. I was. Slapping my hand, pounding the table. You can't hear it. They
It's
cannot hear
creepy.
it.
Slapping the
It's
bass.
really weird.
Welcome to the table, Sir Mish and Sir Cynthia. Hail and well met both. Richly deserved in both cases. This means we now have more than enough knights and squires for an Aussies rules footy team.
Oh, I'm down for that. It'd be fun.
Petting a koala sounds like a euphemism. Just saying.
Isn't it? Isn't
The,
it?
the Shahi is in red and white and royal blue. Okay, I watch.
Did you hear? But do you know that, Anne? Red, white, and royal blue. It's a
No.
Amazon Prime movie with like two men that fall in love, like a prince and the son of a president. But it's doing very well. Sarah Shahi's in it for a little bit, but I guess whatever they use to track these things, people are signing up for Amazon Prime to watch it. I guess the book was a big thing, a big seller.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so people
I
are
know
wanting
this
to watch
book.
the film.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a cute movie.
And the author
Is
also
this
wrote
book
a
like
follow-up
Alexis
book.
something? Is that who the author is of this one?
I can't remember his
I
name, but
don't
I know
know
he
the
wrote
author,
a
but-
follow-up book about lesbians that time travel on a subway, and I really hope they make that one.
Oh,
Come on, Anne.
Oh, The Last Stop? Red, white.
I don't know,
Wait.
Anne. I don't
and-
know. You're asking all these tough questions.
Now I have to look it up.
Okay.
Please hold.
This is the part of the show where
Oh,
we Google.
yeah. Casey McQuiston. Yeah. The lesbian time travel subway one is fucking awesome. It's like
Yeah. Well,
an
I hope they
amazing
do it.
book.
And maybe they will now that this is done
They
so
have to. It would make such a good movie.
well.
Hmm.
I mean, that
Yeah,
sounds
I'd be down
really
for watching that.
intriguing to me, actually. I would love to watch that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Did you
cool.
read the book?
No, I didn't read the book. I was reading about how well the movie's doing, and they talked about the author and some of the other works that
well,
he's
now
done.
I'm really
Well,
excited.
this is so. Is this a Casey? Okay, so this is definitely the same author.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, this movie is really good. So I hope it leads
And it's
to
on
them
Amazon?
making
Mm.
more movies.
Even though we're mad
Yeah.
at them now?
I
Are
know.
we? Wait, why are we mad
Yes,
at Amazon
no,
now?
we are. Remember
What
when
did we-
Yeah,
brought
we'll
that
get there
later?
Hang on.
Oh,
I have to
yeah, we're
finish
mad
this
at them. I
email.
forgot. Okay.
Okay, so the Shahi is in red, white, and royal blue. Okay, I watch. Faintly traumatized by all the nakedness stuff. More Star Wars, less naked attraction.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about shows where people are naked trying to survive.
Oh,
And
yeah.
doing other
and
things naked.
Cat was,
Yeah.
alone, naked and, alone, naked and
Yes,
afraid style.
yes.
Did you all score anything in the ERP auction?
No, did you?
Oh,
It's still going, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
is it not done quite yet?
I don't think it's
I
done
haven't.
yet.
Yeah, I have got no money to spend on auctions.
No, I'd spend too much on the first auction.
Yeah. Might be prime pickings then. If
But
all
you
the
know
other
what was
people like already
interesting that
spent
I
all their
did
money.
see in that auction were the continuity books.
Oh,
Like
that
there's
would
a
be
giant
interesting.
binder for like each episode, and it has
Oh,
photos of
wow.
like
Whoa.
what Mel is wearing, like close-ups of her face, so that they get the makeup right for each
That would be
Wow.
cool.
scene.
Actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little weird, but kind of cool. Anyway, oh my god, Warrior Nun fan campaigns, huh? We'll get to that.
You have to read
Sometimes
the
they work.
emojis.
Oh, that's a lot of emojis.
Yeah.
It's too many. What?
If you don't read it, it won't encapsulate AK's enthusiasm.
But I missed all those other emojis too. This
Oh,
is
that's true.
party
We'll
hat
go back,
emoji,
start
party hat
over.
emoji, party hat emoji, party hat emoji, party hat, party hat, party hat, party hat, party hat, party hat, party hat,
Okay.
party hat, party hat emoji.
Wow. See?
Smile face.
The emojis didn't even show up on mine. So
Really?
I'm glad you explained
it's
it
a
for
good
me.
thing I talked you through it.
'Cause I just see a bunch of squares.
Okay, I gotta go. I got a footy mat to watch. England, etc. AK.
Hmm.
Nice. Good job,
Well-
Anne. That was the first good go at it.
It was a short one, so I feel like, but even though I did
Yeah.
mess up some things up there,
Pretty
You
good.
did a good job though.
it's fine.
gave it
If I get
flair.
fired, it's fine.
Guess what? We have beer. Amanda
Ooh.
bought us 3 beers.
Woohoo!
Cheers,
Dear-
Amanda.
My just one for each. My dearest masters of the realm of Snop-a-Lot, and also Sir AK. To keep with the theme of the last few episodes, I too would like to respectfully request knighthood. However, I have an admission to make. Although I have tuned into every episode of this glorious podcast, oh no, there are a dozen or so that I have not fully finished,
Ooh.
leaving anywhere from 5 to 15 minute snippets unlistened to. This was not intentional. I'm just easily distracted by life. I'd prefer not to go back and listen to 2 hours worth of disjointed 10 minutes clips, as hilarious
Ooh.
as I'm sure they are. But we'll do what it takes to become a full knight. The position of Snop Elder just doesn't have quite the same ring to it. I eagerly await the bang of your silent gavel and hope you enjoy these beers, which were totally, absolutely, definitely not meant to be a
Ooh.
bribe in my quest to join the illustrious ranks of Snop-a-Lot Knights. Oh, and one last thing. If granted knighthood, my preferred weapon of choice would be inflatable
Ooh.
soccer boppers, because they are awesome. Thank you for your consideration in this important matter, Amanda.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soccer boppers are
Those
awesome.
are good.
Do you
We
kids
should do
know
that.
what soccer boppers are? They're big They look like big giant marshmallows, like inflatable marshmallows with holes in them. They're like red and colorful,
Mhm.
and you just beat the crap out of each other with them, like big giant boxing mitts. And they were so fun. And I love that they sold those. Like, here, buy these for your kids so they can punch each other. And
Did
not
you
get hurt.
also have those that they were also I can't talk. They were like sticks with the boppers on the end. Did you have those in school too?
I don't remember
Like I've seen them on
those.
like the Wipeout shows and stuff, but we had them in school where
Oh,
like they were
Mm.
like Nerf on the
no.
end, but you could like knock
Hmm.
each other off of balance beams and shit.
Oh, sounds
Like
safe.
did they do that like an
American
American Gladiator?
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
that, but they
That
like we
looked
had
fun.
those and those soccer boppers in school.
I don't
Wow.
think I had the sticks, but I don't even know if I had
Did-
soccer boppers in school, but I had them at home.
Did either of y'all have lawn darts? I think that might be
Yeah.
a lawn
No,
dart.
but that sounds scary. I've seen them.
Going back to
Uh,
the silent gavel, have you seen the Polar Express? The show,
Mhm.
the Polar Express?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No?
The movie? Yeah.
Oh my god, I watch it every
The
Christmas.
m-
You
movie?
so in love with
Oh.
Christmas and you don't watch the Polar Express?
No, I'm not a big animated watcher of
Okay.
animation. I
Well,
just
Okay,
don't
so
know.
anyway, the boy rings the bell, Santa's bell. And like if you like not everyone can hear it. Only those who believe in Santa can hear the
Mm.
bell. And if you don't believe, like you're too old and you've outgrown it and like tough shit because now Santa's not going to come. Only those who believe can hear the gavel.
Do you believe in the podcast?
I believe.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if you really do or not.
Here you go. I believe. I hear it. My ears.
You hear
oh my
it?
God.
Not.
No, you're a liar. My
Okay.
dog, it's so loud. My dog just got up and ran away.
I wonder. If
Did you
people
really
are
hear it?
No, but I'm wondering if people are complaining about this function.
So you didn't hear it.
They didn't hear it. I
Well,
can
Kat
I
said
mean,
you could
I
turn
am
it off, but we don't want to.
I'm seriously, I'm as close as you can be to the microphone with this gavel without actually
weird.
gaveling the microphone.
So weird.
So when we had
Charlie, it's
Podcore
okay.
back in the day,
It
when we
worked
were
then.
Call to order. Yeah. Did people
Yeah.
hear the gavel then?
Yeah.
So something.
This is like a new
'cause now we can
upgrade.
use the gavel. Oh well, great upgrade.
I wonder if people are complaining.
Maybe. But back to the matter at hand. I think I vote yay to allow Amanda to be a knight of Snop-a-lot. And I think, Anne, if you would like to cast
Am I
a proxy
qualified
vote,
to make this
you're
decision?
voting by proxy.
I
Okay.
think
for-
your
for
vote
Kat.
is only going to count as half, though.
Oh, okay.
And
Are
then
you going to vote no, Tara?
and then
Is it
I'm going to
really
have the
come down
deciding
to
vote.
that?
So
Oh, okay.
let us know. What do you think, Anne?
I vote yes.
Okay.
I vote yes.
Well, I do feel, Amanda, that you are missing out on some great stuff. But I also feel like you've put in a great effort here. So I'm going to go ahead and say yay on this and grant you the knighthood.
It was close for a
and-
minute there, Amanda.
Yeah, it was.
I was
I
worried.
was
for
on the
you.
fence, but I appreciate. It was the beers that did it, so it
The bar
worked.
worked.
Kind of bought your way.
Enjoy
in,
your
By the
Amanda.
way-
soccer boppers.
Let me give you a little taste of what you probably missed in those 10 minutes. There was probably a lot of, what was that person's name? I don't know. Let me Google it. Or how do you, like maybe Kat mispronouncing some words or,
Mm-hmm.
okay, what's next? You're supposed to read the mail. Oh yeah, sorry. It's my turn. Yeah, that's probably
That
sums
pretty
it up,
much
so
encapsulates it. So you're good.
You're done. You're good. Congratulations. Welcome to the Knights of Snop-a-lot.
Welcome,
Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
Sir Amanda.
With the Sakabapas.
Yes.
So, I forgot we have one more mail.
There's
one
which
more,
is
one
gonna
more.
lead into a very important
Yep.
story.
Yep. I've got one from Sherry. Sherry, subject is Warrior Nun announcement. A 3-movie deal and possible cinematic universe. That does fit the description of epic that Simon tweeted. But why did we have to wait 45 days? I don't think SAG-AFTRA was on strike yet when the countdown was announced, so they possibly could have made some cast announcements then. What do y'all think, Sherry?
Well,
great question.
Yeah.
I also wondered about the whole 45 days, and we'll go ahead and just go to our next segment in Nerd News.
Nerd news. Nerd news. I repeat, we have breaking nerd news.
Let's talk about this Warrior Nun is Saved business. As you know, there has been quite an epic countdown going on for the last 45 days on the website warriornunsaved.com. So again, this announcement was made that the show had been saved some context, but it was very vague. Then you had to go to the website, watch the countdown. We watched this countdown, and then we get this announcement. I'm going to go ahead and read. Essentially, there was a video released at that moment that the countdown ended. And this is the transcript of that interview. So it says, "Hi, my name is Dean English, and I'm the executive producer of Warrior Nun. I'm the person who found the graphic novel and asked the dangerous question of what if? Brag much? Okay. Anyway, first of all, I need to start by thanking all of you loyal fans. It's basically you and your incredible energy that we kept pushing forward to make these stories. You guys really make it all worthwhile. Thank you so much for your continued support. I am very happy to announce that Warrior Nun is coming back as a trilogy of motion pictures. Once again, a trilogy of feature films. 3. One thing we need to touch on involves the strike in Hollywood involving actors and writers. It's due to that we cannot make any announcements today on that front. Some may ask, does this perhaps infer that there's going to be a universe being launched of Warrior Nun, which could expand into films and TV series following characters that we already know? The answer to that question is yes, and there will be more details in the future. Okay, side note, I will come back to that. There is a Halo Bear email hotline that you'll sign up for. And from there, you're going to get announcements of all the major developments as we go forward. And there's going to be a lot. And I know a lot of you have questions. Your answers will come through that. In closing, I want to say thank you. You've made me very, very proud through all your hard work and inspired me to keep the to keep going. So this life or the next. So apparently we're getting like another unpublished countdown as to when we can get more information. Again, so a 3-movie deal. They couldn't still, I guess they can't announce a studio attached. Is there who's
I don't think it makes
producing
any.
this?
It's weird. It's weird the way it's worded.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And then how are they announcing a trilogy already of motion pictures? Is it even if we got one, that would be great. It's just hard to kind of, they're
And
really going for it, the trilogy.
When you say motion picture, does that mean big screen? Or does that just
Right.
mean movie?
And then it says a trilogy of feature films. I think that just means a movie. Like, it does not mention anything about a theatrical.
Because when I
release.
hear motion picture, my brain
Mhm.
goes to like in a theater.
Right.
But I don't know if that's like
I
a
don't think
technical
so.
term, or is this just it's going to be 3 things on like Amazon or Netflix or Hulu?
I think that's what it's going to be on a streamer, because I feel like they would say theatrical release, which is the key word for, if it's.
I agree,
it's
though.
gonna
It feels weird to hear them say motion pictures, not movies.
be a movie.
Yeah.
Motion
Right?
picture. It's gonna be in the theater. The motion
Yeah.
picture business is
Yeah.
alive and well.
It's just some of his wording is kind of clunky for
It is. It is.
a writer.
It
Well,
seems
is he
very
a writer or
deliberate.
just a producer? Is he a money guy? Is he he funds? I don't know.
Yeah.
Does he do writing? I don't
But
know.
were
I
you
just don't know.
happy? Are you excited? I thought of you as soon as I was like, Tara has to be beside herself.
It's like I am, but again, it's so vague and kind of weird that it's hard to get excited. I don't know what this means. And I actually read this before I watched this announcement. And I thought, well, maybe he's like English or from another, and just maybe that's
Mhm.
why it was said that way. But no, he's not.
Or
At least he doesn't sound.
He's talking around things purposely
Yes.
because that's some of the stuff like on panels is like actors and stuff, they can vaguely circle around things without saying things, but like
Right.
you're picking up what they're laying down.
And yeah, the fact that he, as executive producer, is announcing this instead of Simon, the showrunner,
Mhm.
and I think he wrote some of that as well. So it was kind of an odd choice, but it definitely again was very vague. You don't really know at this point when you're going to hear more. So it's hard again to get excited. It would be one thing if this 45-day countdown, I know the strike, I don't know what they maybe were planning before the strike. Maybe they were going to have the actors come on and talk about it when they first planned this 45-day countdown. But again, yeah, why the 45 days?
Well,
What
here
is
was my
that?
theory, and I have nothing to base this on other than just wondering, like that even though Netflix canceled it, was there some sort of legal contract in place where there was some kind of rights issue? Like until this thing expired, you couldn't say anything about anything. And maybe because the writers were already on strike, but the actors weren't at that time. So maybe their idea was like, okay, in 45 days, we'll be free to announce it. We can say, hey, here's what we're doing, comment more on the cast or whatever. But now it's like, okay, we hit this mark, but now we can't even say anything about anything. Writers, actors, nothing. But the 45 days was weird. It just makes me wonder if there was like a rights issue that had to expire before they could even say that we're gonna do something else
Or
somewhere
like
else.
there
But
was a
now they can't say
contract
what
they
they
were
wanted
like,
to.
if there
Right.
was something that was like had a back out date, like
Mm-hmm.
we signed this contract, but it has like kind of like an escrow kind of thing, like, and we have to
Yeah.
wait for this date to
Right.
pass, and then
But again, it's so weird. Like, just don't announce anything until just.
Well, but I feel like here's
just
the thing.
wait
I
to
feel
do-
like
I don't
they
know.
got themselves into it with the 45 days, and then all of a sudden the
Mhm.
actors go on strike. And maybe there were things that they could have said with the writer striking that now they really just can't say with the actor striking. So
Mhm.
maybe it's kind of like we built up this big thing to make an announcement, and then all of a sudden we can't really announce as much as we wanted to. But
Yeah.
we got to say something, but it's still kind of vague. Like, is it the original cast? Is it streaming? Is it theaters? And
Yeah,
he
and I
makes
think
it
it's
sound
weird.
like, Mhm.
I think it's weird that he didn't just say it will have the original cast, or we are doing everything
But I
we
feel like you
can
can't
to
even say
bring.
that
I
right
know, but
now.
I'm saying
I
even just saying
think
we're
I
doing
feel
everything
like
we
I
can
saw a
to bring
tweet.
them back.
Well, and I feel like I saw a tweet, maybe I'm imagining this, but like that said, like, we're not sure if it'll even be like the same characters or if it's going to
if
be
it's a
like,
universe, right?
yeah, something
Right.
else.
Yeah, no, just the fact that he made it this like really long run-on sentence of a question. It says, does this perhaps infer that they're going to be a universe being launched of Warrior Nun, which could expand into films and TV series following characters that we already know? So it's not even saying that
Okay.
these films will include characters that we already
Yeah.
know, but could it launch into character?
Mhm.
It's kind of like a thinly veiled like hurrah, right? Like you're excited, but like not
It's-
completely trusting
No, because they are
enough
not.
has happened.
And again, it's like, well, they can't. Yeah, who knows what they're going to say before the strikes? But
Mhm.
I don't know. It's very unstable to me. So we'll
It's
see.
kind of,
But we don't know when. We don't have a
waiting.
countdown anymore for us to go
You've
by.
to
So
watch the strike. I guess when that's
Yep.
over, maybe you'll find out more.
Mhm.
But another
It's more than
reason.
I thought you'd get, though. Honestly, I mean, it's better than what we thought when it was like maybe it'll just be like, here's a comic. I mean, with nothing against comics, but when you're hoping for an actual,
But
well,
also
series,
like
film, whatever.
I think of it as like, I'm still hopeful for Winona to come back. And it's like, but like something is better than nothing, but I don't want 4 or 3 like a trilogy. Like I love the weekly
Mhm.
like episode every week, live tweeting, like that whole, and I feel like if it's something that's just like here's your 3 episodes or here's I don't know.
But
Yeah.
but if you had the chance to get more Winona in that form, I mean, I feel like at least with Winona, you had 4 seasons and closure.
Right.
Whereas like
Yeah.
for something like Warrior Nun, you only had 2, and then
And yeah.
Right.
you're kind of left
Nothing.
hanging, and it's like just give me the closure.
Right.
Give me
Right.
something to
Yeah,
wrap
it's like
this
I'll be
up.
happy to have anything back, but it's like my preferred medium
Yeah.
would be like the weekly model.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
rereading this again, he really doesn't even say a live action movie.
That's true.
It could be like animated or something.
Yeah, that was always my fear, that they're going to say that it's been revived into an animated series, even with the
Mm.
voices of the original
Yeah.
cast. So, yeah, a little, and part of that, we'll get into that. But there's another article out from, let's see,
You're talking about
basically,
the
oh yeah, the
Netflix
Screen
article?
Rant one.
Yeah.
From Screen Rant, basically just noting kind of what we've touched on before, that Netflix is now, it used to be known as like the savior of shows, Gilmore Girls revival, the Full House revival, I think it also saved Lucifer. So it's kind of the
Mhm.
savior of shows. It used to be known as like, oh, Netflix picked this show up.
Right.
But now it's known more as the everything's canceled too soon. They just write off everything. So they really kind of shifted gears on how they're perceived, which is not a good thing. But talk about, not trusting an announcement like this, or thinking about it's very vague and
Yeah.
it's really,
Why should we be
nothing's-
skeptical?
Nothing's really set in stone. And a perfect example of why we feel like that and continue to feel like that is because of this next news about the Amazon show A League of Their Own, which got a season 1. Fans very passionately, wanted this season 2. Amazon agreed, said, okay, we'll give you the 4 episodes. You get 4 episodes as your season 2, and that's going to be it. But that was a pretty big deal, that they at least were going to give us, again, the closure and the 4 to kind of wrap things up. But not so much. They have canceled those plans, and they're blaming it on the strike. So the 2 strikes, I should say. So it's essentially, they've reversed course, according to Hollywood Reporter, and canceled the reboot of Penny Marshall's 1992 film after previously renewing it for a 4-episode season and final season. It says sources say Sony Pictures, which produces the show, plans to shop League with the hopes that the series can find a new home for season 2. Scripts for all 4 episodes of what was planned to be the conclusion were completed before the Writers Guild of America strike. So they could, they don't have, the SAG strike is still throwing a wrench in that, but if SAG ends SAG ends and actors are able to come back, they could potentially still film that. Says the decision to cancel came from co-creators and showrunners Will Graham and Abby Jacobson, comes as Hollywood's first dual strike since the 1960s, blah, 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 as far as having a writing and SAG strike as well. So I'm sorry, it didn't come from them, but it's just saying that that's who the show is from. I heard that did they find out directly from the studio, or was it somehow else that they found out that the show was not getting picked up? So anyway, Jacobson, who starred as a married woman in the show, but who discovers her sexuality, addressed the cancellation in a post on Instagram. To blame this cancellation on the strike is bullshit and cowardly, she wrote, before thanking the show's vocal fan base. But this post isn't about all that, about all the ways this show has been put through the ringer, not today. She said, this post here is about the special show I was lucky to make with so many incredibly talented artists and actors and writers and crew. A show I'm so proud of, filled to the brim with stories worth telling, full of so much heart and soul and value. Thank you for watching. To the 5. So, very sad.
It's
Clearly
just
they are not
absolute
happy. What's the
bullshit.
thing? It's to make a big thing about how you're going to bring it back. And again, they're blaming it on the strike, but all of their shows are suffering from this. They have so many shows in this state of holding, and are they going to just straight up cancel all of those next seasons?
They canceled another one called The Peripheral, which I started watching. I feel like it didn't get as much attention, bad or good, as League of Their Own. At least I think people talked about League of Their Own. People knew about it, if nothing for the movie or just because why is it gay now or whatever, whatever reason. I feel like you heard more about that. But yeah, just to like, oh, we're going to renew you. And that was the bright spot, because I remember other shows were getting canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden it was like, wow, this is the bar. At least we get League of Their Own for 4 episodes. That's our bar. And now that's gone. Like, nope, you don't.
Right.
And they even talked about how, I guess, the Hollywood Reporter said earlier in the year that some insiders at Amazon Prime said its reliance on testing and data led to a clash last summer between Graham and marketing execs after data showed audiences found League's queer stories off-putting and suggested downplaying those themes in materials promoting the show.
Ugh.
Well, here's the thing. If you do that, you're going to get people that do watch for like, hey, it's the movie, but TV show. Oh, I love that movie. I'm going to like this show. And
Right.
it's
You
like,
can't
what's
come
all this
expecting the
gayness?
movie. Right.
Right. And then you get that and you're like, oh my God, this is not what I wanted to see. This is horrible. I hate this show. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, well, yeah, but if you know what you're getting, it's like, I feel like they probably did. I don't remember. I feel like they didn't play up the gayness because I remember when
No.
I saw it, I was like, wait, this is like way gay.
But also all the articles that have been coming out about how like the streaming analytics are like
Yeah.
not accurate and not being portrayed properly and looked at properly. And it's just so messed up and it's so disheartening and it's so disappointing that it's like, yay, it's back. It's going to come back. And then it's like
Yeah.
that someone can just be like, no, it's not like, and it's disappointing for us, but like also for them, like
Oh yeah.
they have it written. It does say that they are still going to shop it. I saw Graham tweet that like don't like we're still going to shop it. It's like not dead. But
Ugh.
I know who even knows anymore.
Well, you know
Right.
what? And here's the thing too. This show, it's already been out there. It's written. It's-
You just pulled a big white rabbit out of nowhere. It's like you're a goddamn magician. Wendy. It's a cat for those
And
of
it was
you
like
who can't
this
see.
is
A
Gizmo.
cat butt flew by the screen.
who cannot help himself. He has to get on one side of the computer, walk around my monitor to the front, and he just wants to get in front of me. And if I put him back to the side, he just goes and does it again.
But
So
it was like ass first, and I was like, "What?" I thought it was a rabbit.
nope, it's this boy.
Oh.
You know, here's the thing. For something like this, when you've got it written, you're ready to go. Maybe when things start up again, that gives them a head start. If
Yeah.
streamers are looking for content that's ready to make once the strike's over and they're like, okay, what can we get into production? Maybe this is something that
Well, that's just it. It's
they'll
like
look
a
at.
sure thing, right? Like you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to wait for somebody to come
Nope.
to you with property. It's intellectual
Right.
property. It's like it's proven. You already know the characters. Like they have a good vision of where it would go. It's
Mhm.
written. Like just get your actors in there and go.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Very
I mean, we'll
frustrating.
see. I mean, Prime is annoying. Like, you know, I feel like every streaming service is going to screw somebody. I mean, all of them have. I mean, Netflix does it.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime's doing it. Disney ripped away Willow and.
But I'm
just
so
tossed it
frustrated
off
too
the-
because it's like, how do we like make an impact? It's like, do I start
Right.
canceling streamers? Like
Right.
they
Yeah.
just like there's still stuff that I watch on there. It's like as mad
Right.
as I am at, like, and then I get mad at myself because I'm still supporting them, and
Yep.
it's like, how do you
Right.
stick it to them
Right.
when
Because
you're
then you'd
like
have
held?
right. You'd have nothing left because when one crappy streamer drops a show you love and then another one picks it up on a streamer that has also wronged you in some way, it's very hard to make those decisions on
Right.
And
they're
and
gonna
the
do.
show like Warrior Nun when Netflix canceled, everybody was mad. Like, I'm going to cancel Netflix. Well, then you know what? You can't watch Warrior Nun if you can because it's still there, and you know you can't support it. You can't like for the benefit of another network or something or streamer to pick it up. It's like if you cancel it, then it's like you can't even watch that show you love so much you want to fight for when you
Yeah.
cancel Netflix. You know, it's tough.
Yeah.
And but I
Yep.
feel like this is just the thing. It's streamers throwing stuff up, see what it becomes a huge hit and sticks. And shows don't have time to build audiences anymore. They don't have.
Yeah.
They don't give them the time because there's so much out there, and they got to cut costs. So if it doesn't immediately hit, they're going to move to the next thing. Even you know, how many shows like took a little while to build up audiences. It became, you know, I always think of the X-Files. It took what was probably the equivalent of 3 seasons of Warrior Nun to get going.
Yeah.
Because you
I
had
think-
time.
Yeah. And I think the biggest impact, you know, will really be made with the strikes and as far as the writers and the actors getting fair contracts and, you know, reworking some of these things that are essentially oh, well, we're going to drop you after 2 seasons and we're going to pull your show off of our streaming service because we just don't want to pay you any residuals. We don't want to do this and that. So, if that can somehow, be worked out that it's not such a huge drop off or something else is done to just not make it so easy for them to pull these shows off and just be done with them and not feel like they have to continue to pay on it, where it almost becomes more of a good investment for them to keep the show on and keep it going in hopes to get more viewers. So it's just frustrating for everybody.
Well, on that happy note,
right? So we really are going to end on a downer here.
Yikes!
Do we have anything to perk us up? Like here's a cat again.
Here's
look
a
at
cat.
it.
We're pulling a cat out of a hat.
Well, the hurricane, tropical storm, typhoon is over.
Yeah, you can get candy corn in stores again.
No,
That's
a perk me up.
Fall is right around the corner.
You can go watch Deadlock.
Hey, I wonder what flavor will come out this year that will be like a weird. Like last year, we tried the tailgating. There's probably already something out there.
Yes,
there'll be something new we'll try this year, I'm sure.
I am planning for another Halloween extravaganza, so we'll figure
get
something
your
out here.
guesses ready.
Oh, I gotta
We'll
start
get our
thinking.
taste test on.
I wore that costume again to a convention.
Yes, it was a big hit. I remember, right? Yeah,
it was.
It was awesome.
There's a hot dog flavored candy corn. Was that
we
out
tried
last
that
year?
one.
That was out.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't see anything new. So
it was actually pretty good.
Some of it.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of things coming out, I'm not sure what.
Well, this could go either way.
No, it's TV. I'm not sure when this podcast hits, but I will tell you, Ahsoka starts on Disney Plus on August 22nd. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, we'll have a review of that.
So we'll be talking Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
When we've seen it, because we haven't seen it yet.
All right. Well, that's something to look forward to.
But until then, I want to thank Anne for being here and for filling in and helping us out, keeping us on track. So Wendy and I just don't go completely off the rails and talk about candy corn for 2 hours.
I needed to babysit. Is really why
we appreciate you. Very thankful that you stepped in. You're amazing, and just excited to be able to spend this very special time with you.
Well, it's a pleasure.
I feel like this is going to be a long podcast, but I feel like it's because we enjoyed talking to Anne. Because we don't ever get to talk to you this much. Just
Cat
us
keeps
without
me
Cat.
hidden away. I know.
Right.
Like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, she's always stepping in and
dungeon master.
Well, whatever you guys need, I will be sure to help out for as long as you need. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this actually we're not sure how you're going to edit this. What if Anne does take over SNOP and just cut all our words out?
Oh wow.
It's just Anne talking about stuff for like 30 minutes.
Takeover.
I'm worried.
We'll have to see we'll have to listen when it comes out.
Cat has some kind
worried
of
about that.
Anne's made some editing adjustments. Okay. It'll be like, I don't know where their voices went. It's like the gavel.
There's like a
just
kill
didn't
switch.
show up on the recording. All right, Anne, do you know how to sign off? Well, first we got to say we're on the Twitter. I'm not going to say X today, stupid.
Where do you find
Twitter,
us?
SNOP Podcast with 1D.
Yeah, and Instagram and Facebook at She Nerds Out Podcast.
And if you want to send us snail mail, you can send it to SNOP P.O. Box 6732 Burbank, California 91510.
Nice. Thank you, Anne. We love you, Kat. And...
What's our email address?
Oh, yeah. She Nerds Out.
SheNerdsOut@gmail.com. Right. I had to look. That's not my line.
You did great.
I'm not off book with the email.
Line. Give me the line.
Line. Until next time. She Nerds
Out.
She nerds out. We're girls that like girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
All right. That's a wrap.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nice.
You got a future in podcast.